Okay, if you're seeing this video, I have at least started the Tour Divide mountain bike route. I am going at touring pace, obviously, with all this equipment all over it. It's a Jammis Renegade 631 steel carbon fork, and I just want to go over some of the things I changed for specifically for the ride. Let me start with what I put on new, the expendables, and that would be the tires. I'm running a 2.75 or 650B by 2.35 in the front. The bike is spec'd for a maximum of 2.25. You can usually ride a wider tire in the front just because it's the fork that dictates the distance that you have to keep. And in the back, I am running or will be running a 2.25. This is a 2.1, which I'm about to replace because I want to start with fresh tires for the ride. And the bike is spec'd for a maximum of 2.25. On the rear tire, it's usually the chainstay that restricts things. And depending on the tread size, you know how knobby the treads are on the side, you might be able to get a little bit wider of a tire on there. I also replaced the rotors. The rotors weren't worn out, but obviously I would like to start with fresh rotors and fresh pads. And I have 2 more pairs of brake pads that I'm taking with me. The chain was just waxed. I just switched to waxing the chain, and I'm bringing Silka's wet wax so that I can put on there since I'm not going to be able to do a hot wax process again. And in terms of the drivetrain, this is a NX crank up front with a 30-tooth chainring. The bike came originally with an Apex. It's mostly an Apex drivetrain with the exception of the cassette and the crankset. But the benefit of this is the Apex only went down to 38-tooth as the smallest chainring you could put on it. This NX is a mountain bike crankset, as you know, so it's 73 millimeters. I had to put some adapters in there to get it to fit that width. I can run down to this 30, but also as high as a 40 with an aftermarket chainring. And then on the back, I have an 11 to 50 cassette with the stock Apex long cage. And I've been running this for several years, and I haven't had any problems at all, and it's been trouble-free for sure. I'm running the tail fin bag down here, and this is for my tools. And then I have this splitter for water bottles. I generally don't have a problem with my knee hitting the half frame bag like some people do, so my legs don't really touch this bottle here. These 2 bottles, that gives me the capacity of 2 liters. This one here is a stainless steel double wall bottle for some cold drinks. Someone suggested that rather than the 1 liter, which I normally run there, so I have a capacity normally of 3 liters. And then I have the newer tail fin half frame bag. This is 1 size down from the largest. This is a 58 size frame, and that bag looks like it's almost custom actually. And then in the top there I have a Apodora bag. It's got my batteries and stuff for my cameras. Just this is the quick access for various things. I won't go into what's in the bags. Maybe when I'm on trail I'll do that because I'm still trying to fine tune it. As you see it here is probably 98% of how I'm going to ride the bike. But in terms of racks, I have the Ortlieb quick release rack, and I have the nano panniers from Revelate Designs on there. And I will say these Revelate Designs and also these Mount Laurel design bags are very difficult, or let me just say they're not quick release. They use Velcro straps, and they are not coming off easily without spending some time taking them on and off. It depends on the rack that you have, but with this Ortlieb, with this diagonal spar here, it gets in the way of the Velcro after you tie it down, so it's a little bit time-consuming, let's just say, to get the bag on and off. So ideally, I think the way to do it, and the way I'm going to do it, is I'm going to actually take the rack off and keep the bags on the rack. You know, if this is a Ortlieb quick release rack, you simply undo that, and then there's a couple levers down here you undo, and the whole rack pops off. That's the way I'm going to take the bags off the bike if I need to, is take the rack off. With regards to the front, I am running a Old Man mountain rack, and the reason I'm doing that is because this is a carbon fork, and I didn't want to load the carbon fork, and I went with their custom through axle. So the axle is actually bearing most of the weight in this setup. The carbon fork is only getting the spars that hopefully stop it from going forward or backward and aren't taking much of the weight. I also have a Redshift suspension stem. Normally I have like a specific color in terms of the grommets, but I added more strength because I'm running this Salsa Anything cradle because there's going to be more weight on it. That should help some of the suspension get it more tuned, I think, is probably what I'm trying to say. The bar isn't taped yet. I'm going to do that today because I added the Redshift, whatever these are called, rests, and then I also bought the ones that goes in the drop. So I just have to do some taping for that. Took the bike out yesterday for my last shakedown ride, so I'm ready to pack it. When I added the bottle splitters, and to get the most use out of the frame, I had to buy the Wolf Tooth. This one's an aftermarket one, but basically there's these adjuster plates that you put in there, and you can raise and lower the bottles accordingly. And this is the Wolf Tooth one. I think it's a Brad 3 they call it. I made a video about that. And you can basically adjust the height. And as you can see, I'm trying to get the most height as possible out of the triangle. So they're not touching. Well, that one is touching a little bit, but that should be fine. My clothes are in these panniers. They're not listed as waterproof. I don't know if they call them water resistance. Even though material is, I think, waterproof, the issue is that the seams aren't taped on the inside. So this area here is not waterproof. So they say not to put anything that, you can't really get wet or is critical in these bags. So I think they want you to put like your kitchen gear and all that stuff in it. But I put my clothes in it to keep the back end light because of the shimmy I have, and my clothes are in a dry bag. So my stills cameras goes here. I have the tent up front. That's a Nemo 2-person tent. Yeah, I think that's everything. Once I get out on the trail for a little bit, maybe I'll have an opportunity. I will go over what's in the bags. Thanks for watching, and wish me luck.